Hey guys, it's Anya, otherwise known as Pink Sweets here on YouTube, and today I'm going to do a tutorial using both the Jeffree Star Thirsty palette and the Manny MUA Life's a Drag palette together. I love both of these palettes for different reasons, and I just think that they would produce a really beautiful look together, so that's what I want to do today. So if you want to see how I got the look that I'm about to do, then keep on watching. So first we're going to go into my MAC paint stick in white as my eyeshadow base per usual. I've already done my brows with my e.l.f. brow pencil, and I've already put on my Glam Glow, what is it called? Glow Starter Illuminator Moisturizer. I don't know why I always forget exactly what it's called. I think because it has a long name, but I think ultimately it's just called the Glow Starter by Glam Glow. I just love Glam Glow skincare. I think they're one of my favorite skincare brands. Their products really work for me. So I am getting ready because I'm going to be going out to get my nails done with my mom and go to a cookout at some point. So I figured I would just have you guys along while I get ready. Alright, so I'm going to put on my tape first, and we're going to do bold today. I've done quite a few neutral looks here recently on my channel, which I've actually been loving, surprisingly enough, but I got to take it back and do my bold, possibly all the way up to my eyebrows looks. So I'm going to go in to first the I think Life's a Drag palette. Forgot there was a brush in there. I don't know how I forgot that because I love the brush, and I'm going to use first the shade Kiki, which is right here. And he said that this shade is not as pigmented, grab my mirror, because it is meant as more of a transition shade. So we're going to go in with one of my Morphe blue blending brushes, and I'm just going to sweep that all the way across in the crease. You don't have to be clean when you're doing this or precise, I should say, because we are going to attempt a cut crease today. Wish me luck. I don't do a whole lot of cut creases on camera because I've been trying to perfect, or I don't think I'll ever be perfect at it, but you never know. But I've been trying to get better at it. So we're just going to put that shade all across the crease, like so. I love how it blends out just like really smooth. It's nice to have a transition shade that isn't necessarily warm, you know what I mean? Then we're going to dip into the Thirsty palette. I haven't even taken the plastic off the mirror. And we're going to go into Submerge, which is the blue shade in this palette. And I'm going to use the Manny MUA brush for this because I really like how pinched the ferrule is on the blending side. I'm just cleaning it in my color switch. The ferrule, where it's pinched, it makes it like more of a flat. When I turn it sideways, you can see how narrow that is, so it's really good at getting into the crease. So I'm going to use Submerge on that, which is that beautiful blue. I'm just going to bring it at the bottom of where we put the Kiki shade. And just kind of brighten that up a little bit. I love both of these palettes, and when I saw them together, I knew that I wanted to at some point attempt this look because I just did. I just knew that the shades that I'm going to be using would go really, really well together. And so I wanted to use them to create a look. So last night, sweet Sophie, My little chihuahua kept me up. Oh my goodness. I don't know what was wrong with her last night. Just blending that back out a little bit with my blue Morphe brush. And then we're going to go into Fishy, which is in the Miami Way palette, which is the darkest blue that we have available. And that's this one right here. And I'm going to go in with the same brush, the Miami Way brush. I don't know what was wrong with her, but she kept coming up to me. She wanted down, she wanted up, she wanted to be petted, she wanted to be cuddled, then she wanted down again. She was just very antsy, and I'm not sure why. It was really strange. So I'm going to go just in the outer V with this shade and a little bit into the crease. But I'm not going to go up any higher than I put the Kiki shade. So, I finally managed to fall asleep at like 7 o'clock this morning. So, again, pretty tired. But I have things to do, so no sleep for the weary. That's so pretty. Fishy, I think, is one of my favorite colors in the Miami Way palette. I use it a lot off camera. I actually have to stop myself from using this palette only. Okay, now I'm going to go in with, before I continue, I'm going to go in with Cake Face, which is the white from the Miami Way palette, and I'm just going to run that on the brow bone. And it's not as pigmented as Glucose from the Blood Sugar palette, but it's pretty close. It's a very good white shade. Okay. Now that we have that, we're going to go in with the black shade, which is called Shady. And we're just keeping that on the very, very outer. My eye's watering a little bit. It's picking up the tape. I'm just kind of patting it so that it really deepens out the outer crease. My hair is getting to the point where I can't stand it anymore, the fading. So look out for a hair color video soon. I don't need to redo the bottom. That's stayed pretty bright, but anywhere where the magenta was needs to be touched up. So I'm just doing that on the other side. Okay, and then I'm going to go back in with Fishy again and kind of go back over because I don't want to lose that beautiful blue shade. Okay. And then with no additional product, I'm going to go back into the one that we used for Kiki and just blend that out a little bit more. Okay. I haven't decided if I'm going to go to the cookout yet. I don't know. I just haven't been feeling the best lately. probably because I haven't gotten a lot of sleep. And I just don't know if I feel like it. I'm going to use this flat shader brush along with this sugar pill brush to do the cut crease. And I put some of the Master Concealer in Fair on the back of my hand. So I'm going to use the sugar pill brush first. I'm just going to coat both sides. And I'm just going to use this to get a sharp line. Actually, I might be able to use it for most of the cut crease. I think I might just do a half cut crease. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do today. Yeah, this concealer is so good for this. I'm going to go back to the other eye in just a second. And I am by no means a cut crease expert yet, but I'm determined to get there. I just discovered a new channel that I love. Her name is Forever Purple. That's her channel name. And she does really colorful looks the way that I do. And I love it. I always love finding other channels that do like really bold, colorful looks as like the norm. Alright, now I'm going in with the flat shader brush and I'm coating both sides because when I do that, it'll make it really flat. I was watching Raw Beauty Christie, and that's what she did with a brush as well. Wasn't the same brush, but it was similar. I watched her how to do a cut crease easily. It's the best way to learn is to watch other people do it over and over again. And then you can't get better if you don't practice and you don't try. So here we are. And then she said she taps the outer edge with her finger. That worked pretty well. It was a lot easier than that Q-tip method I tried. I mean, I still like the way the Q-tip method looked, but I think it was definitely easier. And then I'm going back in with that blending brush, and I'm just putting fishy right on the edge so that we don't lose that pretty blue there. Okay. I'm going to make sure that they're kind of even-ish. Alright. And then I'm going to go in with a small Morphe brush, which is the E36. Actually, I'm going to hold off on that. First, I'm going to take the Manny MUA brush, and I'm going to use the flat shader side. Just run that in my color switch. And I'm going to go into the Jeffree Star palette and use the shade Divine, which is that metallic silver shade. We're going to put that all in the inner corner. I feel like the silver one isn't as blinding as the gold one was, but it's still pretty. We might use either a Milani Hypnotic Lights or a Stila Magnificent Metal. Who knows? It might work better with a different flat shader brush, I'm not sure. It works better when I do patting motion. There we go. Okay. Very nice. Alright, now I'm going to go in with this little Morphe brush. It's the E36. And I'm going to go into Submerge. I'm just going to redefine that little line. Nice. I'm going to take a little bit of fishy as well, because it's just brighter. And just redefine it. And again, blend between the silver and the blue. Did it on the other side too. I love this little brush for detailed work. I actually bought the Jaclyn Hill Favorites brush set because it was the cheapest and easiest way to get a lot of brushes at one time. And I really liked all the brushes, so. And we'll be doing a brushes video very soon, which will be my first kind of instructional-ish video. Going back in with the silver, the brush that I have the silver on. No additional product. Just kind of sweeping it. Because I think the brushes are probably the most important part of applying your makeup, just because they make a huge difference. I think I told the story one time about how I went to MAC and I asked my friend Angie, I was like, can I get, all the makeup you're wearing on your face? So I bought it and she was like, you want the brushes too? And I was like, no, I'm good. Went home, tried to do the makeup. It looked nothing like hers. Went back the next day. I'm just re-intensifying the black, by the way. Went back the next day, bought all the brushes again. Made all the difference. So now I'm just blending. Okay, I like it so far. Take off the tape. Grab my makeup wipes. I'm telling you, I think these makeup wipes, these were my favorites video, are just as good as the, I should have used the rest of the concealer for my face. They're just as good as the Neutrogena wipes. They're the CVS brand. This side looks wonky because my eye was watering, so I'm just gonna have to clean it up. And I like to just remove everything that's on the lower lash line so that I have a fresh start when I do my foundation. What's funny is when I first was thinking about doing this look, I thought it was going to look a little different when I finished. I thought it was going to be much lighter and brighter and not as much of a smoky eye. But then I decided to add the black, and that was that. So, but I really do like it. I do like it. So I'm going to go in with the Tatcha, the Silk Canvas. I have this little sample from Sephora. I think I just took way too much, but we'll work with it. I am using this, and then I'm going to be getting the full size. I wanted to make sure that I liked it. When I saw that Sephora was offering a miniature one, when you purchase something, I think it was like $25 or more. It was either that or it was a 100-point perk. My dogs hear somebody outside, if you hear them barking. And I was like, oh, that's a good way to try it. I love the way it smells. It smells like all the other Tatcha products, which I love that smell. I'm going to go in with the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1. I'm in the shade 00A. 00A. Porcelain. And then I'm going to mix in some of my Fenty Beauty in the shade 120. My favorite foundation of life. I actually just placed an order for a couple of things. Just mixing it together in the back of my hand. And when I did, you had the option to get like a miniature Fenty foundation. And then I'm just dipping my beauty blender. This is my Real Technique sponge. Anyhow, I'm like going back and forth, losing my train of thought. So you had the option always when you go on the Sephora app, and Laura, listen up, so because I know you're going to be ordering online when you receive your gift card in the mail. But so when you go online, if you go to the menu, drop-down menu, it will have the option for, it says beauty offers, and if you click on beauty offers, like it has rewards and then it has beauty offers. If you click on beauty offers, always do that, because you should always enter a promo code, because it's a way to get one more free thing on your order. So this time they were offering a lot of nice things. Sometimes I'll place multiple orders, because like if I'm getting like 2 things that are above $25, I'll just place 2 orders so that I can get use 2 different promo codes. But they were offering like a mini bottle of the Fenty foundation, and they only had like 2 shades left. So I'm in 120. But the thing about the Rihanna foundation is she has so many shades that it's not like, I feel like I still have some blue right there. That's so weird. I do have some blue right there. Let's get rid of that. Okay, hold on. She has so many shades that when you get a shade, you can usually take the like next 2 or 3 shades, because there isn't like a giant jump between the shades. I'm very confused as to why this blue is not coming off. Maybe it's not eyeshadow? Is it my eye? Did I get punched? I mean, I didn't get punched, but like, did I get kicked in my sleep by my dogs or something? Weird. Alright, we'll use concealer. So for some reason the sponge dries out really fast. So I got the 170 because they had 170 or like 200 and something, which would have been way too dark for me. And so I got the 170, and we'll see how it goes. I just thought if it actually works, or if I can mix it in with my other foundations, it would be awesome to be able to travel with that instead of this glass bottle that's like, you know, this big. My goal in life is to get minis of everything I love to use, or as much as I can, so that when I travel, I can just put my makeup in a little makeup bag and then bring it on the plane and not have to worry about the sizes. So that would be cool. I got a little travel size of like all the peach products that I like to use. I'm going to go in with the same concealer that I used to cut the crease. And I'm going to, it's the Master Conceal. Why did I never think to use my beauty blender to apply it before? Like I would always apply with my finger and then blend it out. I don't know why I didn't think to just pick it up with my beauty blender to begin with. Because I'm weird. I love this concealer so much. Like, I don't know, I feel like it doesn't crease as easily because of the fact that It's very, like, hydrating. I don't know. And I know that I look really pale at the moment, but it does match my neck pretty much. Bring it down just a little. I don't know, I think the Fenty is usually what I use to lighten other foundations, and I think the Milani was actually light enough on its own, so oh well. We'll bronze it up. We'll fix it somehow. Okay, so we're going to go in with, I still have some of the Ben Nye powder from my last tutorial in the cap of this powder. So I'm just going to use that up. I always end up dumping too much in the cap. Comment down below if you do the same thing. I'm just going to set that. That already added some color back in. I don't want to look like a ghost, even though I am pale. The other day I got out of the shower and my husband was like, "Whoa, you're so pale. Did you ever go in the sun?" I was like, "No, I hide in the shadows." I go outside, I just try to stay either out of the sun or, you know, I try to put on sunscreen. I don't like to get sun because I don't want to get sun damage. Like, that's my biggest concern. Alright, so I'm going to go, but I know it's good to get vitamin C, so, no, not vitamin C. Oh, yeah. Vitamin D. Okay, I'm going to go with my Sweetie Pie bronzer. I haven't used it in a little bit. I've been trying to use some other stuff. For some reason, there's a piece of tape on it. And I'm going to use this random Sonia Kashuk, not sponge, brush. And swirl it around. This is what this bronzer looks like. I love it. And I like to use this brush when I'm not trying to contour at all. I'm literally just warming up the face, because it diffuses the color. We'll talk about all that in my brushes video. I'll put a little under here, just a hair. A little on my nose. Not that I ever super contour, but sometimes I feel like it's a little sharper than other times. Just put some on my forehead. You know, sometimes people say things and you're like, should you have said that, you know? So I was at CVS one time and this woman was like, oh, she's like, you're so pretty. And I was like, oh, thank you. And then she said, yeah, you know, you should really get bangs. And I was like, oh yeah? How come? And she was like, oh, well, because you have a really big forehead. Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. Let me grab my blush. Where did I put it? There it is. My little blush palette. And I mean, you know, I'm not going to lie. My forehead isn't tiny, but who says that to someone? That's what I want to know. I guess that lady does. It's like verbal diarrhea of the mouth. Sometimes people just think they could speak their mind, you know, like that. So, do I want to do pink or peach? Pink or peach, pink or peach, pink or peach. I'm going to do peach. So I'm just going to mix some of these peachy tones from Makeup Geek. I'll have the shades listed down below. And I'm using my Wet n Wild blush brush. I like a lot of blush. Since I hide in the shadows, I have to get color from somewhere, right? Maybe I'll go in with a little bit of pink over top of it, just so it's not too orange. Yeah, that's better. Okay, and then I'm going to take my MAC Emphasize powder, which is right there, and it's in the same palette. And again, I have blue eyeshadow on my fingers. And I'm just getting a little bit on my sponge and just cleaning up that edge a little bit more. It's a brightening powder. I'm just going to put it a little bit under my eyes as well. I've had this powder for quite a while. I mean, not like years, but like a while. And I saw Jaclyn Hill using it in her video. Okay, focus on me. Hello. There we go. I saw Jaclyn Hill. I almost said I used Jaclyn Hill. No. I saw Jaclyn Hill using it the other day in her video, and I was like, I have that powder. Why don't I ever use it? Okay, so I'm going to go into the Manny MUA palette, and I'm going to use that shade Fishy. Knock off the excess. I'm just going to put that on the lower lash line. Maybe I should have used my liner first. That would have been helpful to smudge it out, right? I'm going to go in with Electric from Urban Decay. I think I mentioned this in a video before, and I might show it in a future video. But I bought a while back, the Urban Decay had a vault collection of all of their liners in like every shade that they sold at the time. And I bought it. Or I should say I got it as a gift. And I love it. But it was one of those things that I would just always forget to pull out. And I just would always use black liner. And then I was like, why am I not using this? It's beautiful. Okay. Now we're going to put, I always feel like I got stuff in my corner of my eye. Now we're going to go in with the same brush, clean it off, and we're going to go into the shade Beam, which is a beautiful shade from the Manny MUA palette. It's this shimmery one right here, and it is like a peachy pink silvery duochrome shade. It's so pretty. And it like shifts as you move your head. And I'm just going to put that a little bit in the inner corner. See? Stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. And because it has like silver undertones when you turn your head in a certain direction, it still looks good with the silver eyeshadow. This palette is so good, you guys. Oh, I love that. I didn't expect to like it that much. I mean, that shade in the inner corner. Now I'm going to go in with my Volumizing mascara. And I promise there will be tutorials coming up in which I use lashes and liquid liner. One of my next tutorials will be, I don't know if it'll be the very next one, but it'll be soon. And it will be a pink and black smoky eye requested by Hayden. Hi, Hayden. And I'm going to do wing liner in that one, I think. Doke. I just cannot tell you guys how much I love this mascara. I need to go buy some backups because I don't know. Do you feel like drugstore mascaras sometimes get discontinued way too quickly? Because I feel like they do. I feel like they come out with one, they hype it up, and then they have it for like a month or two, and then you can't find it anymore. So, I don't know what she is barking at. She is crazy. She's lost her marbles today. today and last night. This even makes me have like lower lashes, whereas anything else I felt like it just clumped them together and like forget about lower lashes. I just didn't have them. Okay, now we're gonna use, I want to use Thirst Trap. Let me go grab that and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And this time I'm gonna wipe the foundation off my lips because I haven't been, and I want to see how long this particular shade will actually last on my lips if I don't. So, if I don't leave it on there. If I do wipe it off. Okay. So I'm going to go with Sebastian from OCC Cosmetics, which is my favorite lip liner. You guys know the struggle is real because they're no longer a company. So if you know a lip liner this color, it's like a grayish, please comment down below. And I have stripped down from MAC. And this one is a little bit different than that. So, not stripped down from MAC. Okay, now I'm going to go in with Thirst Trap. Thirst Trap almost reminds me of that Beam eyeshadow in lip form. I just wanted to do a nude lip, but still fun, because the eyes are so crazy bold. But I gotta say, I love the way they turned out. I don't say so myself. So now I'm gonna go in first with my rose toner spray to meld the powders in my skin. Let that dry for a second. Maybe I should. And then I'm going to use my Stay Matte setting spray from Rimmel and just lock in all that makeup. Oh my gosh, I didn't use highlighter. Okay, spray that a little bit more. Wow. You know what? I'm going to be crazy, okay? So I'm going to clean off. Actually, I think I have another fluffy brush. Hold on. Nope, I'm going to use this one. I'm going to see if Beam can be used as a highlighter. Okay, so I'm going to go with my Juvia's Place highlighter brush. This is my favorite. This came with the little set. I'm just going to, pretty glittery, I'm just going to dip into it and see what we got going on. Okay, so this palette just became even more perfect, and I'll tell you why. Because it has colors in it that can be used, like the gold legendary could be used as a highlighter as well, especially on deeper skin tones and medium skin tones. And this one could be used on deeper and medium and light. And sickening. Didn't people say that the shade was spelled sickening? Mine says sickening. I'm gonna have to look into that. Anyhow, side note. Okay, so this shade, so sickening, hunty, and mug right here could all be used on different skin tones as contour shades or bronzers. So this is literally the most travel-friendly palette ever, because technically, if you wanted to, if you weren't going away for like a really long time, you could just use that as like your face and your eye palette. And you would have literally every shade you need. More setting spray. Okay, so this is the final look using the Jeffree Star and the Manny MUA palette together. I really love the way it turned out. I think they're both great palettes. As I said in my favorites video, if I had to choose one, it would be Manny's, because it's just more versatile. but I love both of them. So let me know in the comments down below what you think, and let me know if there's any other color combinations from the palettes put together that you would like to see me do a look with. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you soon, guys. Bye.